just about, man, it's urgency, it's intensity, it's your, what's your intent?
That a culture of winning. That doesn't happen overnight.
And he ain't selling gas. He's selling something that's real. If you can scare two people, you won. Like, trust me, I played in Pittsburgh at night when the air is crisp and they drop sticks. You can see the guys on your team in your huddle that they get to.
So that everybody that comes in Allen Park, into that building, knows exactly what the expectation is. You expect to win the day. So we were just talking about building a culture, and last year the respect that the coach gave to the players didn't translate in wins, but perhaps it doesn't happen overnight. Perhaps you need that respect to help laying a foundation brick by brick to build a winning culture. How do you build a winning culture? Even when you're losing, you do everything right. You meet right, you eat right, you do everything right, you treat people right, and you break the huddle right. Here's Dan Campbell talking about he just wasn't satisfied with the way they broke huddle yesterday.
Breaking the huddle. That's all. I'm just blowing the whistle because I don't like how they broke the huddle. We're trying to set a tone early, man. We're not just going to walk out of the huddle. Just got to train those guys. And same deal defensively. I hate when we, if we're in there and we go and it sounds like there's a clap, and there's a clap, and then we're, And I go back to this. I never forget playing Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl, man. When those guys broke, like we're getting a huddle, and we go to break, and you just hear them. And they are out. They were out, and they are lined up, and they're like, all right, where you go? All right, we're here. And it was, that was legit. That was a real deal now. So just about, man, it's urgency, it's intensity, it's your, what's your intent?
That's how you build a winning culture. You do everything right, including breaking the huddle.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Listen, now, when I was in Cleveland, we sucked. The first year I was there in 05. We sucked in 06. But we sucked that's what they thought. But we tried to do everything right. We tried to get better at it. We believed in Romeo and the mission a little more in 06, and still didn't happen. It can happen like that in the NFL sometimes. Insert 07. 07, we won 10 games. We were 7-8. We were 7-8. We were 7-1 at home. That's damn good. And then we found 3 wins on the road. We didn't make the playoffs, but we were a lot better. But in one of those games, this is 07, we're pretty good. Like, we had some guys on Pro Bowl pace. We're looking a lot better than we've looked in the past. Hell, at 6 games, we were 3-3. So we're looking at, whatever. We went and played the Patriots. We went to New England, to Gillette Stadium, and we played against the New England Patriots. And this is the year that they go undefeated until the Super Bowl. It was just different. Like, what they were as a team was different than what we were. Not skill-wise, the way they broke the huddle, the way they were on the sideline, the way they were engaged, the way that, just everything. They didn't make the same mistakes. That's when I knew I got to get somewhere where they believe in this fully, and we have the players to believe that. Because if some individuals believe it, you can do some things. You can do okay. But if everyone buys into the culture, if everyone buys into what Belichick is selling, and he ain't selling gas, he's selling something that's real, then you see 07, then you see Tom Brady in the Atlanta game, then you see et cetera. So that's when I knew it was a difference. Everybody has to be on board, but when everybody is on board, it looks a lot different, breaking the huddles, sidelines, coming out of halftimes, everything else.
And it almost goes back to Little League football, right, Braylon?
Yeah.
Like high school football. You got to nail the fundamentals, the small things, and the big things will take care of themselves, right? If you're in unison as a team and you're intimidating, because that's what I love about that is he's talking about lining up against the Ravens and those guys coming out of the huddle being ready. He was scared of them, and like that's what you want. You want then when the offense breaks the huddle and sees your defense that you are a bunch of rabid dogs, and you want the defense when you guys break all in unison, like these guys are in lockstep. This is an army. It's kind of like 300, right? Like, we need to cover each other the exact way. If you can't do it, get the hell out of here. But they did it all by themselves.
And that's the other thing too, before I cut you off, Ryan, is if you can scare 2 people, you won. If you're a defense, like trust me, I played in Pittsburgh at night when the air is crisp and they drop sticks, renegade on that scoreboard, you can see the guys on your team in your huddle that they get to. All it takes is 1 or 2 guys that you get that you scare, because it's a unison on offense that works, that clicks. It takes all 11 guys. If you scare the center, well, now the center exchange is going to be bad. If you scare the quarterback, well, now the quarterback might have good protection, but he might rush or throw because he think he doesn't. If you scare the wide receiver, well, now he's going to get jammed up at the line of scrimmage, and now the play doesn't work. The other 10 guys did their job, but you couldn't catch the ball. If you get one guy, you got everybody.
Now, it may seem like we're making such a big deal out of Dan Campbell blowing the whistle because he didn't like the way the Lions broke the huddle on offense. I don't see it that way. I see the breaking of the huddle, the interruption of that, as a much bigger ideal for this franchise. It's almost like a metaphor. Braylon, we had Marcus Pollard on about a year ago at this
I know
time.
that guy.
You do know that guy. And one of the things that he said was when he played for the Indianapolis Colts, they just did things differently than when he came here and played for the Detroit Lions. When he played in Indianapolis, they had Peyton Manning as their quarterback. They had a culture. Tony Dungy was their head coach.
Edgerrin James.
They had a culture of winning. That doesn't happen overnight. So what Dan Campbell is trying to do, what Brad Holmes is trying to do, is really start a brand new franchise here in Detroit with 70 years of futility behind it that it's carrying on its shoulders. And I just think when you have a level of expectation, when you bring that to the table so that everybody that comes in Allen Park, into that building, knows exactly what the expectation is. You expect to win the day. And that can be a rah-rah, anything you want to call it. But I just think that's how you build culture without actually winning football games, because you can't go 1-0 today against the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you know why? Because you're not playing the Eagles today.
Playing yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. And when you say that, he broke practice, the people that are angry about him blowing the whistle because they didn't break the huddle right are the same people that haven't held the Lions organization and franchise accountable over the past 60 years. Listen, when you go to certain places, before you walk through the door, Ryan and Stick, you know what the culture is. You know what the expectations are in some places before you go there. Like if I'm a free agent and I know Baltimore Ravens I'm doing an interview, and wherever the hell the Baltimore Ravens facility is, and I'm walking through that facility as I get ready to interview with John Harbaugh and that team and that front office, I already know before they throw a deal on the table what they expect. When I go to Pittsburgh, when I go to New England, when I go to the Rams now, when I go to Kansas City, Andy Reid, when you go to certain places, you understand what the identity is. You understand what the expectations are, and they are that you do exactly what you're supposed to do, that you stay disciplined, that you listen to the script. And that's what he's trying to build. Dan Campbell told us he was on that team that was 0-16. He told us he hated the culture here. He told us that he wanted to come here so that he could fix the culture. This is how you fix the culture.
Without question.